Page 10, what a wonderful world. Typically, I wouldn't have a lot to say here. The tricky part's the rhythm, the eighth notes. You can get the counting. It's not hard. I will point out at the bottom of page 11, last line, second measure. The left hand, that last note is an A flat. Right, just so you know. Right. It really is. You have other A flats in here, they'll throw you too, but you'll get those. The sharps and the flats, you ought to be able to do okay. Now I would suggest, if you want to play around with it, changing the fingering a little bit to get rid of all these repeated notes like they're doing. You don't get rid of the notes, you get rid of using the same finger. Take a look at the first line, the last two measures in the right hand. You have that. And that's fine. If you want to do it that way, do it that way. I would recommend the 3, 1, 3, 2. It's fun. Try it out. And then the last measure, it's 1, 1, 2, 1. You can use that type of fingering throughout. You know, in the second line, the left hand, you have those notes. That's fine if you want to do that. I would do it here. And then the eighth notes, I'd do a 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Next measure, 2, 1, 3. It's up to you. In the last measure of the second line, there in the left hand, look at that fingering. You have an A, C, and then the third finger's on the B. That prepares you for what's coming. Don't look at the keyboard to do that. You shouldn't have to look at the keyboard, even changing fingers on a note. Try and do it without looking down at the keyboard. At the top of page 11, right hand, all those eighth notes, I would do a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Second measure is 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. It's kind of fun, I think. And it's a surer way of getting all the notes than using the same finger every time. But if you want to use the same finger every time, you go right ahead. Let's try this together. There's no pedal in it. There's a RIT at the end, R-I-T at the end. The bottom page 11, you see it. Means to slow down. I'm going to ignore that because I'm playing with a metronome. Measure 25, you have an off tempo. That means resume your speed, because there was an RIT the measure before, but I'm going to ignore the RIT, so I don't need to resume my speed. I'm already there. Now, it's kind of important to be accurate. You can fudge a little with this style of music, but know you're fudging, all right? Don't fudge because you're lazy and I'll just sort of get it, all right? Get it exactly the way it's written, and then if you want to fudge it, that's up to you. All right. Let's take a look, for instance, on page 11, fourth line down. Fourth line down. It starts in the second measure of that line. We got the left hand, and then in the third measure, the left hand is a 2-beat rest. You're holding the right hand down. Then in the last measure, the right hand, it's a quarter note. So to hold it down for the first count and then lift up, but hold the left hand down, and then you play the F in the right hand. And then when you go to play the last note in the right hand, you got to lift the left hand up. It's a rest. See? So try and get those in there. It's a kind of interesting the way they've written it, but try and get it the way it's written. You can fudge with it and hold it down too long or whatever later. But this is kind of important at first. This has a pickup beat. See, the last measure only has 3 counts in it. The fourth beat is at the very beginning. So I'm going to give you 3 counts, and we'll come in on 4. So it'll be 1, ready, go. Wop, bop, bom, bum, 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 like that. Hands, where do they go? Well, the left hand starts here. So I guess that's where it goes. The right hand is here. So I guess that's where it goes to start. They'll move around a little. Try and do it without looking at the keyboard if you can, though. 1, Ready and go. And 4 rest. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, off.